So if you're governor next year, will you seek to fine them in some way retroactively?
Absolutely. When someone comes into Vermont, pollutes an aquifer with highly radioactive cancerous substances, they should be fined. They should also be forced to pay for cleaning up the mess.
What kind of fine are we talking about?
Well, let's focus less on the fine right now and more on immediate action to mitigate more highly radioactive substances, cancer-causing substances, getting deeper into the aquifer at UI. And let's look at the facts.
Have you asked them whether, you talked about the pumps continuing in operation past December, have you asked them whether they might have a freezing issue then? Maybe that's why they're shutting them down, because of cold weather?
Well, you know, in Entergy Louisiana style, they released this at 5 o'clock on a holiday weekend, and we're still on the holiday, so I haven't had a chance to talk to Entergy Louisiana. All I can tell you is, it's my belief that they can continue to run those pumps, and must, and put in additional pumps immediately to ensure that not only the tritium, but the cesium and the strontium does not get in, deeper into the aquifer. We know it's in the wells right now, 220 feet. It's gone through the bedrock. The question is, how much and what gets into the aquifer that the town of Vernon uses for their drinking water?
Is it safe to continue operating for another 2 years to the end of their license?
You know, I've asked that question. Unfortunately, the governor of Vermont has absolutely no authority over that question. What we can decide, and what I've shown leadership on, is the question of whether you would continue to run an aging, leaking nuclear power plant owned by a company that can't tell the truth. Past 2012, Brian wants to relicense that operation. I don't.
Would you like to shut it down early if you could?
Well, I'm not going to wade into areas where I have absolutely no jurisdiction. Let's focus on what we can do. We have a very serious situation on our hands that Brian Doobie continues to be an apologist for. As your governor, should I be elected governor, I will show real leadership on this issue. I say a governor needs to be right the first time. I was the first who suggested that Entergy Louisiana couldn't be trusted. I was first to suggest that whether it's the decommissioning fund or other issues, they want to make sure that Vermonters pay instead of keeping their promise and paying. We're going to need a governor who's going to hold their feet to the fire, both working with the Attorney General and every legal means available to us to protect Vermonters' health and safety and protect their wallets against a company who is doing tremendous damage to Vermont.
Let me just step back and clarify for you, Friday's announcement, what new questions did it raise for you, or what new themes?
The new questions for me were very simply put, we're in this for the long haul. It was never my belief that tritium, cobalt, and cesium was going to run uphill. We all know it runs downhill. It's now clear that it's penetrated the bedrock. We are going to face the same challenges that other states have faced with tritium leaks, except that Vermont's is more extreme, Vermont's is more serious, Vermont's is more hazardous, because our plant also leaked cesium and strontium, highly cancerous radioactive substances that are water soluble, that move more slowly, thankfully, than tritium.
Brian said, Doobie said on Friday, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and Vermont Department of Health must prove the plant poses no health risk to Vermonters before I will be satisfied. Are those two agencies, the NRC and the Vermont Department of Health, reliable on this in your estimation?
And once again, Brian Doobie's being an apologist for the stockholders of Entergy Louisiana, and he's not protecting the hard-working taxpayers of the state of Vermont, our safety and our health of our children and our residents.
But that makes it sound like you need some assurances beyond those that could be offered by the NRC and the State Department of Health, and I'm wondering from where.
The Department of Health and the agencies that Brian's asking for answers from are the same people that ignored the advice from the person that I appointed to the Oversight Committee that there were underground pipes at the plant, that they held highly radioactive nuclear substances, and that they were likely to leak. So what I'm saying is, point blank, very simple. Brian Doobie, what more information do you need? At what point will you stop the grandstanding, stop the excuses, stand up and protect Vermonters, their wallets, their checkbooks, their health and safety, and say, enough is enough, Entry Louisiana, we don't trust you. We're gonna hold your feet to the fire and ask you to pay the bill and mitigate and take the actions necessary to mitigate this disaster immediately.
Given your level of concern on this, what contact have you had with the incumbent governor, and what have you asked him to do?
Well, again, I just found out about this on Friday. It's a holiday weekend, but I am holding this press conference today in hopes that the governor and others will take the same action that I will take if you elect me your governor. Protect Vermonters, stop apologizing for Entry Louisiana, stop trusting them, they've proven they cannot be trusted, and show gubernatorial leadership to solve a problem that is very, very serious for the state of Vermont.
But given the issue, and holiday weekend or not, I mean, you must be able to get a number for the governor. Why not give him a call?
You know, I think if you look at history, the governor and the lieutenant governor, as I mentioned, have continuously disagreed with my approach to this issue. They haven't been receptive to my suggestions in the past. I think Vermont